Welcome to Monday Night Football here on Madison Community Television. Tonight it's the opener of the 1988 football season between the East Lyme Vikings and the Hand Tigers. Chris Wallach and Hal Levy from atop the press box here at the Surf Club for the opener. Now to give us a quick look at both teams is the man who knows a lot about football in Connecticut. He's the editor of the Fall Sports Preview, Hal Levy.
Thanks, Chris. How are you? Both teams, interestingly, coming off losing seasons, and I say interestingly because it's not the tradition of either East Lyme nor Hand to come off losing season. And the worst season ever in its history, only a couple of wins last year. East Lyme a 4-6 ball club, but both teams returning a lot of people, and that means that each of these teams is kind of a dark horse contender in its league. East Lyme in the Eastern Connecticut Conference, always a tough league, and Hand in the Coastal Conference, which since its inception has sent a team to the state championship game every year. Stratford and Morgan, and this year probably not going to be an exception. Stratford considered to be a very, very strong team, and got some votes in the state poll early. Going to be a very interesting ball game. Also, East Lyme predominantly a running team, and Hand, interestingly this year, probably going to be a throwing team more than Larry Ciotti teams have been in a long time. Larry very high on his core of receivers. Kids caught the ball very, very well in the preseason. And Danny Zaneski, a veteran quarterback with some very good credentials.
Now, how about the history of East Lyme usually having an extremely large
East Lyme is a very big physical team, always has been, probably always will be, and certainly this year is no exception. You're talking a whole bunch of kids well over 200 pounds across the front line. Basically, again, a bang-it-out type football team. That's the way the Vikings run things.
Well, the Tigers have won the toss, and they will receive. Dropping back deep, Dan Zaneski and Steve McIntyre. They're standing just inside the 15-yard line, and we're set for action in the 88 opener. It'll be Zaneski at about the 17, over the 20, 25. Has a little room, taken down just shy of the 30.
And for East Lyman there, Charlie Orpis, number 56, who's going to be a starter on defense, was in there on the hit on that play. East Lyman, we can kind of flip some charts and stuff over here, come up with an idea. East Lyman defensively and offensively will come out with Brian Short at center, Craig Hermanot, Steve Piggott at the guard, John Hevesy and Jay Henneberry at the tackles, John Burke and Mike Munt and Justin Spain are going to be the receivers. Dave Whitchuk, carried on that play, will be the fullback, and Steve McIntyre will be the tailback. East Lyme runs a basic 4-4 defensively. Scott Fountain, number 41, Tim Smith, number 99 of the end. Roe Davis, number 79, who made that tackle, and Jim Sullivan, number 70, are the tackles. The linebackers inside, Bob Banner, number 55, and Steve Ravelino, number 68. The outside backers are number 43, Ken Haney, and Charlie Orff is 56. And Zaneski throws the pass incomplete there to Michael Munt, number 87 on that play. And Jeff Devaney, number 11, Mark Provost, 13, and Kelly Owen, 42, the secondary. That completes your East Lyme defense. Basically playing a 4-4, which longtime Hand fans remember as a defensive Tigers played for a long time.
Tigers come up with 3rd and short. The pitch goes right to McIntyre. A lot of room. And he's out over the 45-yard line up to about the 47, and a Tiger first down.
Offensive line, nice job blowing people off the ball on that. And that's something that Hand's going to be a forte for Hand this year, is the quickness of the line. Now, everybody talks about Johnny Hevesy, and John is a big guy, you know, at 6'4 and a half, and anywhere between 280, 290, whatever. But the rest of that line, very small, very quick.
Well, that play went over to the right inside Hevesy's side. Another slant, and it's wide open. It's one, and he has speed. And he gets down inside Viking territory, inside the 40. They'll spot it at about the 37.5-yard line.
And Mike Munt, nice catch on that play, and the throw is right there. Danny Sineski has thrown with a lot more confidence early in this ball game than we saw him throw at all last year, Chris. He looks like he very much has a feeling for what he's doing.
Well, the Tigers look like they're going to mix it up quite a bit. 2 runs, 2 passes, and they come out right now with 2 split ends and a pro set backfield, along with his flanker, who is Justin Spain, number 14. Zaneski, short drop, and he's hit blind side, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. They're going to say his arm was moving forward.
Good call on that. That's not what it was. But East Lyme with a good rush. Again, East Lyme, very big physical team. There are occasions when they're just going to beat some smaller hand offensive line. And people are going to rely on quickness. East Lyme's going to rely on strength.
John Reardon checks in. One comes out. Ryan Short leads him to the line of scrimmage. Zaneski looks over the defense. 3 wideouts this time. Once again out of the pro set. Might have been moving on the right side, Hal, but no flags.
Definitely
McIntyre.
No flags.
And McIntyre is able to turn the corner and get a couple out of something that looked like it was going to be strung out pretty well there, Hal.
A nice block on the outside. I believe Dave Winchester out there. I agree with you, Chris. I thought there was movement too. But I think that that's something we're going to see this year. And something Larry stressed very much is the quickness off the ball of the hand offensive line. If the Tigers were really that good off the ball, maybe that wasn't actually movement. Maybe it was just a very good line search.
From the 34-yard line, 3rd and 6. Once again, they go for that slant pass, but it's well overthrown and much better coverage that time around.
There was. The pattern wasn't real good, and he got a pretty good line rush from the backside. They kind of set that up. Tigers in one of those situations now, almost in 4-down territory. This is very close. Even if Zaneski goes back to punt, I wouldn't be surprised to see something happen here. And they're not even bothering to go back to punt. They're just going to come up and go for it on the 4th and 6.
4th and 6 from the 34-yard line. Zaneski will sprint out to the left and over the middle, caught by Spain, and he takes a couple of tacklers down on the 20-yard line.
This young man is going to be a very, very good football player before he's through.
Only a sophomore.
Yes, only a sophomore, about 6'4", 180 pounds, very good speed. And I think back, and I've covered hand football now off and on for 10 years in one way or another. The last unknown player that I remember Larry Ciotti talking about this way was a kid by the name of Jimmy Bell.
And we know about Bell. Pitch left, McIntyre's got some room. He cuts it back and does, and puts his head down and moves down close to the 10-yard line to about the 11.
Got both guards, real nice blocks for him. One on a kick-out block, and then one coming back to seal. And he had a pretty good hole in there, and he can run a little bit.
Very, very close to the first down, and I believe, Hal, they're going to have to move the sticks here, I believe. Yes, they'll get the first down. Just outside the 10, so there will be a possibility of a first down. Zaneski to McIntyre, he's got a little running room. And nice hit over on the sidelines, taken out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. That was Bruce Ashley.
Bruce Ashley, who is generally considered to be the best running back at East Lyme. He's the starting tailback in there playing some D and made a very big hit on that play and stopped it at the 8-yard line. When if Ashley doesn't get him, that's a touchdown.
Tigers break the huddle. It's Udacek and McIntyre in the eye behind Zaneski. 2 tight ends. Pitch to McIntyre right. He's got running room. Hevesy out in front and short of the 5-yard line. McIntyre is taken down. Looks to be spotted at about the 6. That play developed kind of slowly, more slowly than the previous pitches.
Yes, it did, and that's interesting because if you look at the Tigers, they're playing the eye very, very tight this year. Hands probably no more than maybe 6 yards off. If you look at McIntyre, he's maybe no more than 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. A little tight on a comparative basis. Nice handoff inside by Zaneski.
To Udacek.
Coming up the middle. Good ball handling.
And he gets down to, looks to be about the 3-yard line, where it'll bring up a 4th down situation here, Al. And will they go for the touchdown or take the field goal?
I'm going to guess he's going for the touchdown. I might think about a field goal to come away with 3, just to put it on the board.
Well, the Tigers have had control of the ball now for close to 5 minutes. And actually, if they didn't go for the field goal, it actually
He's got the quick in.
Be a big boost for East Lyme. Zineski sprinting left, wide open. He's got Spain for the touchdown.
He had the in all the way. If they look at the film, Johnny Burke was wide open all the way on an in pattern, and Spain cut across it late and was also wide open to the outside. And maybe the first of a number of touchdowns that Justin Spain scores for the Tigers.
Short a man here. They're waving for the sidelines.
And Hand takes the timeout, and you are correct. Hand takes the timeout.
Okay, the Tigers are set for the extra point. 6:55 to go first quarter. Looking to make it 7-0 is Steve McIntyre. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it's good. So with 6:55 left here in the first quarter, the Tigers have the lead, 7-0. Get set to kick off, and a pretty impressive drive, Hal.
Chris, definitely. And the interesting thing is that on a 4th down and 2 or 3 inside the 5-yard line, he not only choosing to go for it, but throwing the football, which I think is a precursor of things that we're going to see for the next 10 football games. We're going to see the Tigers throw the ball, and that's going to be a little different.
Good kick, and it's off the fingertips of Chip Mundell, and it'll be a touchback. It'll come back to the 20.
And Billy Riccio, the referee, the man in the white hat, making the call on that, as he is wont to do. Billy, one of the good ones, with a pretty good team with him tonight. Tom DiMartino, the umpire, Dave Holdwright, the linesman, and Kevin Woods from Madison, the line judge. Up in the press box keeping time, George Klivac. Vikes are going to run either power eye or some slot eye.
And that's Ashley, the ball carrier. Bruce Ashley up to about the 25-yard line, maybe just past.
Might be the 26, and that's what you're going to see pretty much all night from East Lyme. Vikes don't throw the ball real well. Brand new quarterback this year in Matt Jacobo, who was a JV quarterback last year. But they're big, they're strong, they're physical, and they like their running backs.
Jacobo, and it'll be back to number 34, Mundell, who tried to handle that kickoff.
Chip Mundell on the power play, and the Tigers did a great job of stopping that. That is something Hand had a lot of trouble with in the preseason, something Larry was very worried about. He thought that he could stop straight ahead plays very well. He said, but the key to how we defend East Lyme is going to be how we stop the counter stuff, how we stop the traps, the counters, the stuff that's coming back the other way, the misdirection type plays. And the Tigers did a great job on that one, stopping it for no gain.
And it's Ashley fumble, but after he's down.
That's an after.
Zineski in on the tackle along with Udacek. And that was the 3rd down play, so it'll be 4th down. Loss of a yard to about the 25. And the Tigers will send Zineski deep along with Mike Munt. And
Greg Hermanot, by the way, made the initial hit on that play. I'm sitting there. I don't know numbers yet, Chris. I'm going to be looking them up all night. Greg Hermanot came in and submarined that play, made a great play on it.
Good pressure by the Tigers. Good punt. Zineski will field it at the 47. Gets out over the midfield stripe into Viking territory and down at the 47-yard line.
Danny Zineski was about a step away from getting to the wall on that play. If he'd had about another step's worth of depth, he had a chance to get to the wall and the sideline. And again, those people who follow Tiger football for any length of time knows what happens then. People explode.
That is true.
Larry maybe coaches special teams as well as any high school coach I've ever seen in terms of teaching, especially the punt return, teaching the punt return.
I'll look for the Tigers to go deep right off the bat here, Hal.
That's going to be tough to do.
Over the middle, wide open. That's Burke. And Burke down inside the 30-yard line to about the 28.
Ian Zineski just put the ball right on the money. And doing it the tough way too, Chris, because if you'll notice, he's doing a lot of roll-out left stuff. And square up before you throw. He's doing it on the run. His footwork is excellent. He just looks like a much, much better quarterback than he did a year ago.
Out of the eye, rolling right this time. He's got another man open. Not sure who it was intended for. Actually, Hal Spain was out there, and so was Munt.
I think Mike Munt was probably the receiver on that play. Ball thrown a little bit behind where he made his break, but a pretty good throw.
Brings up a second down and 10 for the Tigers from the 28-yard line with 4:20 to go here in the first quarter.
From the looks of it, second and long is not going to bother this ball club this year.
Not at all. Send two receivers to the left out of the eye, and McIntyre. And he gets inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line.
Nice spin loose by Mac because Mike Aldridge, number 58, had very good penetration and had a hand on him. Mac spun it loose and then put it down for about a good solid 5-yard gain.
May have had a hand on the ball. Also, he was there in the backfield very quickly.
Aldridge had a shot to make a big play. Maybe want to watch a slant in here.
And pitch left, and there is a flag down on the play as McIntyre turns the corner and gets inside the 20.
I think we're probably going to get hand on procedure, but let's wait and look because there's only two possible calls there, and they're going to be offsides of procedure. Now, we've got an illegal formation on the Tigers. Illegal procedure. It's going to come back 5 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 10. Here though, Chris, is Ian being in 4-down territory here, might not be going for the whole chunk on 3rd down. Might take a look at maybe a play that's going to gain 6 or 7 yards and then set up that 4th down and 2 or 3 type plot.
Ben Dickinson, number 9, checks in. 3:49 to go first quarter, 7-0 Tigers on the move. 3rd down, 10. Vikings have had possession of the ball for about 30 seconds now here in the first quarter. Tedeschi rolls right, has a man wide open, and he overthrows him. It's Spain down at about the 15. Danny need to put a little bit more touch on that, I think.
Maybe a little more loft and a little less force behind it because he had to kind of loft it over somebody. Spain did it. Spain was open and was going towards the sideline. The pass was a little bit overthrown.
And at 6'4", 182, Spain kind of reminds me a little bit of Tim Nye, playing up at the University of Massachusetts.
Right, maybe a little bit quicker, I think, than Timmy Nye, who was maybe a little bigger physically, intended to play more inside.
Go set, 4th and 10, short drop, looking deep into the corner, and in and out of the hands of Burke, who was open.
It was open, and that was a basic drop. There's not too much else you can say about that. That was just a drop pass.
And on downs, things will turn over, and East Lyme will get their second possession of the first quarter, and they'll start from at about the 28-yard line. It's Clark Ashley Mundell behind the quarterback, Matt Jacobo.
Clark 32 actually.
And a counter is dropped, and I believe recovered by East Lyme back at the 23. But slicing in there for the Tigers was Udacek, and he almost had a hand on it. They'll mark it at about the 24.
And Mundell did recover his own fumble on that particular play. East Lyme across the front, the tight end, number 37, Kevin Devaney. Another tight end is number 18, Dan Vescovi. The tackles, number 69, Alan Remley, and number 50, Rick Toff. The guards, number 53, Carl Olson, number 54, Dean Pelosi, and the center, number 77, Scott Baslick.
Pitch was to Ashley, and he gets back to about the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 10.
He is also playing basically 4-down lineman, kind of a drop end sort of situation. In the middle is Dave Phillip, Hannaberry and Jim Devine are the tackles, Herman out at the end, Wiedechek, Short, Kyle Succo, and Nate Homer as the linebackers, Zaneski, Mike Hunt, and Jim Monahan deep.
And trying to move to his right, I believe that was Mundell, and stuffed that one for a also a couple.
Greg Hermanot, big play on that once again. Greg Hermanot, nice job in there at the defensive end slot.
Once again, the Vikings not able to move the ball, and with under 2 minutes to go first quarter, they're going to be forced to punt it away, and the Tigers will get great field position for their third attempt.
And right now, looking at your field position, and defensively doing a much better job than I think a lot of people expected.
Low snap. The ball was snapped, and it was caught and dropped.
I'm not sure what the call was, but the Tigers are going to get the football at about the East Line 14-yard line. Was it caught and dropped for a foul? That's got to be one of those new Federation rules that I'm not aware of, because I don't understand why, when he kicked the ball, he didn't, the punt didn't count. I don't understand it. Maybe at halftime we'll try to find out. I think maybe in the car I might have the new Federation rule book. It might be in the office. That's one of those rules that I don't know anything about, Chris.
From the 14, better field position than we had expected, and the pitch goes to Unacek, the fullback. He tries to turn the corner and picks up a couple of yards down to about the 12, 13-yard line.
Trying to ride the block by Steve McIntyre to the outside. Mac did a pretty good job of taking his man up, but it just the defender strung it out long enough so that Dave didn't have a chance to turn the corner.
That was an interesting play. It was a pitch to the fullback out of the pro set with McIntyre to lead blocker.
With Dave Winchuk, he has got the speed to make that play work.
Unacek on the quick hitter. He gets maybe a yard, and it'll bring up a third down and about 7 for the Tiger.
And again, we're gonna look it up that play here. Burke checking into the lineup, and checking out is Mike Lund.
Gain of a yard to be 11, to be 3rd and 6.
One assumes that Ian is going to throw the ball, and it's just going to be a question of what looks like it might be going to work. In the slot, Justin
And Zaneski fakes the draw. Wide open is Spain, and he overthrows him down at about the 2-3-yard line. And maybe waited a little too long. He had Spain open early. Probably should have got rid of it a little earlier.
And I see a player in there that I don't know, number 42.
I was looking at him before, Hal, and I was wondering if that might be Suko. It looks like Suko.
Okay.
And I don't see it.
24.
And I don't see his number out there. I'm wondering if he's wearing that.
We're going, McIntyre going to go for about a 28-yard field goal.
And he may have pulled it to the left.
And he did.
McIntyre's field attempt is wide to the left.
Well, the Tigers come up short. Another great scoring opportunity, and they only have 7. Maybe East Lyme going to get picked up a little bit by this. They played the whole first quarter, barely touched the ball. They're only down 7-0. The Tigers have been close 3 times.
Not a bad kick, though. Not a bad kick, though. It had plenty of leg. It just kind of banged down a little bit to the right. I'm going to guess 42 is definitely going to be Kyle Suko because he's in there on defense right now. He's playing a cornerback. We're going to change 24 in the program to 42.
And it's sweep to the left with number 34. That's Mundell. Tackled by Greg Williams out over the 25 at about the 27. That might have been their best play of the first quarter.
Tigers had a chance to stuff that at the line of scrimmage and not let it get to the corner. They missed it, and as a result, he made about 8 or 9 yards on the final play of the first quarter. And so the quarter is going to end with the Tigers leading 7-0.
Second quarter action about to get underway. 2nd and 2, a chance for their first down of the game. Matt Yacovo, he's going to keep it all the way here. He's going to turn the corner, and it looks like he'll get up close to the first down, but be a little short.
Chris, I think he's going to be a little bit short. Tigers did a great job of stringing that play out. And once again, number 78, Greg Hermanot, a big part of that. The first quarter, he has done an outstanding job defensively along the line, and he has certainly kept it up here in the first play of the second quarter. It is a first down, but it's by about the nose of the football. And Greg Hermanot coming down the line did a very, very good job with that.
And you like to get good play out of your leader, one of your captains, Hermanat. First down, it's Ashley, I believe, and he didn't run hard. He stopped on that hit instead of putting the shoulder down.
I think he hesitated a little bit because he got cracked a couple of times, and again, the left side of the Tiger defensive line, and over there, Dave Phillip, he came scraping down from the nose guard spot, and Greg Herman out over there once again on that left side, making the play.
And it'll be second down, a short 8. And he'll come back to the left with Mundell, and Mundell gets a decent pickup. He'll be up to about the 38-yard line, and that'll leave him a couple of yards short on a third down play.
So Captain Jimmy Monahan down again on that. Dave Udacek just missed a diving stop in the backfield, had a chance to stop him for a loss, and just missed the dive, and Jim Monahan came up to the secondary to make the tackle.
Third down, let's call it 2.
Biggest play East Lyme's had so far.
And it'll be Ashley. He finds some room, and he gets the first down, taken down by Zaneski, but not before he got out over the 40.
Just barely. Zaneski got the tackle there, but he did get across the 40. And that was the little counter play there. If you anybody who's got a VCR and wants to replay this, took a little bit of a drop step, a little counter step, and then came across the other way, and that probably gave him the opportunity to get the first down on that. And that's something the Tigers have to be a little bit wary of.
First down 10, it'll be Mundell sweeping right side behind 3 lead blockers, and he gets up to the 45 and a pickup of about 4.
East Lyme's line beginning to get a little bit of surge now, and starting to assert itself with a very big, strong offensive line. Probably 200 pounds a man plus, which is normal for East Lyme. Vikes are generally a very big team. Kind of a dark horse in the ECC this year. East Lyme beat Norwich and lost the Ledger 2-0 in a Jamboree scrimmage pre-season. Their last test before coming in here.
That was Mundell, who got into Tiger territory for the first time this evening. Came up about a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1 with 9 minutes left to go here in the first half, and the Tigers up 7-0.
We'll throw out a little trivia question for those who followed hand football for a while. Those who now remember that Hand and East Lyme used to play a long time ago. Anybody remember the last time they played and what the score was?
That looked like either a mix-up or a quarterback draw for the first down by Yakovo.
Yakovo got the first down, and Matt Yakovo is going to run the ball a little bit. He's not afraid to run. He's a tough kid, physical. Again, he's quarterback the JV team last year, very successful JV team. And this is kind of his ball club this year to run. You know, we're not taking phone calls and letters and stuff on this, but if anybody wants to think about it, the last time Hand and East Lyme played and what the score was.
And Bill Clark, the fullback, they surprised the Tigers. Clark not careful
off the wing with a little bit of counter stuff. And those are going to be the people who generally carry the football. Bill Clark's going to mostly be a blocker for you, but he showed he can run the ball a little bit there too.
Second down, long 4 for the Vikings, who are starting to make a little bit happen here. And that's Mundell, who actually has seen the ball a bit more than we had anticipated. We had figured out Ashley being the main ball carrier, trying to change things up a little as he comes up about a yard short.
Again, East Lyme sitting here with a big play, and the Tigers with a big defensive play here. You'll notice that time Hand had 9 guys, probably within about 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. I think Hand pretty much convinced at this point that East Lyme is not going to put the ball in the air on a regular basis.
Well, they're inside the 40 here, 3rd and short. If they wanted to think about it a little here, they could take a chance and put it up, but they have 2 tight ends, and there's movement on the right side. Boy, that flag was thrown in hard by the linesman.
Play basically was that, I'm trying to see his number there, but I believe it was Clark was out in the slot position on that, and he hit the neutral zone, and as soon as you hit the neutral zone in high school football, it's an automatic flag. And so instead of being a 3rd and 2, it's a 3rd and 7 now, which has got to change the ball a little bit for the Vikes. And the Tigers are going to loosen off. And instead of playing 8 men within a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage, now back in a basic 4-4.
and they come back to that counter, and it's read perfectly. Making the initial hit was Hermanat again.
It's off the bottom of the flat. Greg Hermanat makes another big play.
And that brings up a 4th down. That penalty really hurt.
And East Lyme probably in a funny situation there, and Clark's penalty definitely hurt because instead of being a 3rd and 2, it became a 3rd and 7, and it's a tougher fly by far.
Ashley drops about 10 yards deep. Hermanat puts some pressure on, gets a pretty good boot off. McIntyre has trouble. He comes up, fields it a little bit late, but covers it at about the 18 where the Tigers will take over.
McIntyre just barely covered that ball because Mr. Clark down there trying to atone for a previous sin was right in on that play and almost wound up coming up with the football.
And with 6:43 to go here in the first half, the Tigers will have the ball for their 4th possession. This, the worst start they've had this evening at about the 18.
But the last time they had to go any kind of distance at all, they marched it in for a touchdown. When they had field position handed to them, they didn't score.
Burke and Spain are split wide to the right. A quick hit and a pullback Udacek. He gets up to about the 20 for a pickup of 2.
We saw a hand run 3-4 years ago when they had some quicker people. We have not seen hand with speed in a while. And it's even more interesting because the fastest guy isn't here. That's Johnny Burrell. John transferred in from North Branford. The son of Pete Burrell is the was the breakaway back the Tigers were kind of looking for. Got a whole bunch of people blowing whistles. We have one guy making a call, and the Tigers have some illegal overseas. John Burrell was the quarterback in North Branford the first 5 games last year, broke his arm, and then when Pete got the job over here, they wound up moving into Madison, and John transferred here. Larry had him move to a tailback spot because of his foot speed, and what happened in preseason was that John broke the wrist again and is expected to be out for the year. And there's another broken arm also, Brian Risley, who suffered his in a baseball game. Got flipped by a kid from West Haven, who we won't want to talk about too much more.
And that's McIntyre over the 25 to the 26, about 3 yards short of a first down.
But both of those guys, and then Chris Flanagan with the bad back, also possibly out for the season. Other than that, Tigers totally healthy tonight. But those 3 guys are people who Ian would like to have had around.
McIntyre and Udacek in the split backfield, and it's Udacek, and he's met short of the first down. Slicing in there, Scott Bowden.
Dave Udacek at about 155 or 160 pounds tops is not going to be your grinded-out type fullback. He's going to have to do it with quickness and guile and foot speed and, beat somebody in the corner or whatever. He's not going to be the guy who puts his head down and gains you Steve Curtin type yards or something.
4th down and 1 as the Vikings drop back. Jeff Devaney, it looks like, number 11, and Mundell also.
And Andy Sineski for his first punt of the year averaged about almost 41 yards a kick back here.
Well, little trouble handling it, and just turns over at about the 37. It's Devaney, tries to get outside, and there's Hermanat on the tackle. 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Vikings with 4:08 to go here in the first half.
Dan Sineski got that to turn over well enough so that he got the kick out there pretty well. All-State punter last year averaged just under 41 yards a kick, and touted by a number of people, including USA Today, as one of the top returning seniors in Connecticut.
And for the first time, we see 2 wide receivers split to the right. Yakovo with a pitch, not handled by Ashley, although it wasn't a great pitch. Back to about the 28, though, he manages to cover it.
We also have a flag coming on the outside, and I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be for. It's got to be some sort of procedure penalty, unless he caught a hold.
Back at the 29.
No, he's just throwing a beanbag out there for a spot.
8.
Because he just picked it back up. We just picked the flag back up. So he must have thrown out a beanbag out there for a spot.
I guess he did, because they lost 8 yards.
If the offensive player who recovers the fumble, if he's the guy who fumbled, he can pick it up and advance.
Right. Over the middle, a little screen to Clark, the fullback. He puts his head down and barrels his way out over the 35, up to the 38-yard line.
Chris, that's an old-time play. I don't remember the last time I saw a middle screen run. Do you?
Probably I've seen a couple run in the NFL, but not too many in high school or college.
Boy, it's a long time since I've seen that play run, especially that.
Well, it's probably a little easier to teach to high school kids than some sort of outside screen. And you got to worry then about linemen getting downfield and the whole bit. So I think that one's probably a little easier to teach. It was a nice little wall setup, actually. Wasn't a bad little play. I think we'll see it again before the evening's over. Yakovo looking deep, has a man open, and it's caught by Mundell. Zaneski mistimed it, and it'll go in for the touchdown.
That was just a simple one-on-one.
About a 62-yard strike.
And Zaneski, you're right, he just mistimed the jump because there was a one-on-one play all the way. If Zaneski gets up and makes the knockdown, which he thought he was going to do fairly easily, it's a harmless pass. And he just mistimed it.
I'll be curious to see the replay, though. I am not sure. Mundell may have given him a push in the back.
It's a distinct possibility.
Okay, so we can maybe take a look at that when we replay it.
We're not going to argue that part of it, but if he did it big time. He did it very, 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 very well.
And Devaney will do the kicking. And we could have a tie game here with 2:27 to go, first quarter. And the kick is up, and not a lot of leg, but it gets through. And we're tied up here, 7-7 with 2:27 to go, and a big lift for East Lyme.
Yes, there was. That was your basic 21-yard kick. I mean, if you got to go 20 on the extra point, that was about 21. But a very, very big play there, and just basically throw the bomb, throw it up, and he made the catch. Interesting situation here, Chris. Tigers have dominated the first half, and yet they find themselves in a tie, making a couple of mistakes here and there. One big mistake defensively and a couple offensively.
How many times do you see it happen, Hal? 3 or 4 opportunities, you come away with 1 score. And quite often the other team's going to come back on you.
Yeah, this happens. We're going to have a holding call, by the way, on this kickoff return.
That was Monahan who fielded the ball and got it forward to about the 22, but we're going to back up some.
Yes.
Penalty is against Dan.
Was the guilty party of the hold? Well, I'm not sure. It looked like from where the official threw the flag, that's where he was throwing it.
There was a clip, as now signaled, blocking below the waist.
Block below the waist, which I didn't see. I thought he was calling a holding, which I did see.
So we're going to be way back here. With those soccer lines, it's always hard to tell, but I think we're around the 12-yard line. Am I right, Hal?
Yes, that looks about right.
Okay, Zaneski out to the side, overthrown, intended for John Burke.
Paul Nichols' first and last mistake of the year, said that was intended for Munt. Now he changes it to Burke. I think he was saying the same thing that I was, which is that Mike Munt was open on the other side.
Second down 10, 2:12 to go. Maybe a little surprised the Tigers throwing the ball deep on first down, Hal, because with 2:12 to go, they got to move the ball on the ground here. Otherwise, they're going to have to punt it away. Still give some time.
But, okay, now you're in a situation where Spain's got one-on-one coverage, too. Oh.
Okay, now you give it to Udacek on the dive. You don't get much. You're in third down, and you've still got plenty of time. East Lyme probably going to call a timeout. And that's a smart play. Good coaching.
Certainly good timeout. 2:03 to go. But at the same time, we know that the Tigers have proven that they can move the football through the air. And Larry, obviously not afraid to throw. Balls a pass on first down deep in his own territory. And basically now needs the 10-yard pattern. And so far the Tigers have not shown that they have that particular pass point. They've shown that they can throw fairly short, and they've shown they can throw deep across the middle. You want to see what they can do on the 3rd and 10 play.
Well, It's third down, about 8, with 2:03 to go here in the first half. There has been an East Lyme timeout. And this will be big for the Tigers here because otherwise the Tigers will have to punt, and East Lyme will look to get probably field position inside Tiger territory with a minute and a half or so left.
Certainly has that possibility. Flag fairly limp right now.
Well, it does feel like a little wind coming west to east. So maybe a slight wind at the back of East Lyme. Zaneski having to throw into it, just a bit of a wind. Burke and Spain are split out, and they'll give it to McIntyre. He's tripped up at the 15-yard line, and that was Scott Boughton, 41, I believe.
Yep, tried to run the sprint draw, and they have not convinced East Lyme yet that they're going to throw the ball enough so that they can get that set up.
Quick timeout by East Lyme. They're second, 1:57 to go, and the Tigers will be punting it from very deep. Just outside the goal line is where Zaneski will have to line up to get this one off.
Gain on the last play of 2 yards, bringing up 4th and 6.
John Hevesy, who has one more little attribute that he can show college coaches now, doing the deep snapping for the Tigers. John probably going to be as recruited as anybody at hand has been in, say, the last 5 years, I would guess. A lot of people have to be looking at him because you just don't teach people to be naturally 6'5", 285 pounds. Especially a guy, Chris, I know you saw him in baseball. He's a kid with pretty nice feet, and he doesn't look like he weighs 290 pounds.
No, he's very agile, coordinated.
He looks to me like
those are all the tools necessary.
He looks to me like he weighs 245, 250. People tell me he weighs 290. I couldn't believe it. He holds it very, very well. He's just one of those people who's just a big guy. And when he gets the strength to go along with that, he's going to make somebody a hell of a Division I lineman.
Speaking of long snappers, Mike Ciotti and Yale, they open up tomorrow. Good pressure, but Zaneski gets it off. And this is maybe a bad move here, letting it bounce, because that's going to cost them 15 yards, maybe more.
That was the play to make, was the fair catch on that, because the Tigers did have coverage down there, but he had plenty of time to fair catch it, and he just did not do so. And the result is that, from the 15-yard line, you're talking maybe a 51-yard punt.
Yes, sirree, back to the 34.
The result is that Danny Zaneski kind of kicks the Tigers out of trouble.
Definitely. 1:40 left. East Lyme's going to have to move. We'll see them throw the ball a bit on this series, I would think, as Jacobo comes back with the screen to the left, trying to set that up.
Second attack. Chris, even though the Tigers are in a situation right now where they're in the 7-7 tie, I see some things I like. I don't know about you, but I see some pieces falling in. Just some little things that they did on special teams and the ability to throw the ball and some things like that look like hand might have itself a pretty good football team this year.
I'd have to agree. They look like they have a pretty good mix. They have some size, some speed, people who can catch the ball. And Jacobo looking deep, and Zaneski has it picked off, and may have some running room, but takes it inside. Had some running room to the outside if he had taken it down the right side.
He never had a chance to get out there. He did make up for the faux pas a little bit earlier, and he came back, and that time he did not leave his feet, he did not lose his concentration, he just went up and took the ball and made the play.
38-yard line and a chance for the Tigers to work something here. 1:19 to go.
And once again, the Tigers in that position where, because they have the ability to throw, you never count them out. The quick strike is possible.
Out of the I formation, Zaneski sprinting out the right. He'll keep it, hops over one tackler, and gets up just shy of the 40. And the Tigers will call timeout with 58 seconds to go here in the first half.
One of the things you want to see the Tigers do a little bit more is maybe start to think about getting the backs into the pass patterns, because pretty much now the pass patterns are predictable. You want to see a situation where you maybe occasionally throw to Steve McIntyre, you occasionally throw to Dave Whitaker. you make something along that line happen just to kind of cross people up a little bit, and so that you're not starting to run into the zones where all of a sudden a Spain or Burke or Reardon is getting double coverage.
I know I've said that in years past. It doesn't seem like many high school teams throw to their backs coming out of the backfield. Occasionally they'll flank them or slot them and throw a pass. I don't know if it's because you need a little extra time with pass blocking or what, but very unusual to see quarterbacks throw the ball. Nice catch there by Reardon on the slant. You very rarely see high school quarterbacks throwing to the running backs. And it seems to be such a big play in college and in the NFL.
That, by the way, is my favorite high school pass pattern right there, is that slant. Because that has a chance to go for touchdown.
Lofting it up for Munt. Oh, in and out of his hands at the 30.
And number 42 got beat on that play.
Well-timed throw was right there.
Outstanding pass. Maybe as well thrown a pass as he's had all night. Because he had to beat the defender, he had to loft it a little bit, he had to take a little bit off the pass, and he did all of those things.
Chance to make a call here, Hal. 4th and 1. You're at the 47 with 36 seconds left. You don't make it, you turn it over right there. I think they've got enough confidence, though, that they're going to go for it.
I'm going to throw it.
And McIntyre is taken down, and I believe he'll come up short. Oh, it's going to be a tough mark.
That's a tough call. Let's see the spot.
It looks like they're getting a good spot here. They're going to have to measure.
They're not getting a good first down spot. He's short, I think.
Well, it's our first call of the year.
I got him short, but you're smiling at me, Chris, which means you think he has.
No, I think he's short. I really do. But I think he gave him a better spot than actually he should have had. He was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and they said he almost made a yard. Came up 4 inches short. And I think looks like that would have been the right move. 32 seconds left. Let's see if they loft another one up. Split ends to both sides.
I think if I were the Vikes, I'd be real pleased to come out of here with a tie.
And they give the draw to Clark. Clark's a big guy. He gets inside the 45 to a 44. And with 17 seconds left, we have a timeout on the field, I believe.
East Lyme takes his left down to 17 seconds. I'm kind of scratching my head. Why do you run a draw play and then call a timeout with 17 seconds? Oh, what is this, an extra chance to fumble? Why not let the clock run?
At this point, I think that East Lyme should be happy with a 7-7 game. The Tigers really controlled the ball most of the first half.
If I'm the Vikes, I'm real happy at 7-7.
And really that was basically a lucky touchdown. It was really just thrown up there. Zaneski was trying to time it for the pickoff. And
he didn't make the ball.
He didn't make it.
What's that? Replay. Tiger coaches are heading downstairs, so I don't think Cam's going to be pulling out any plays, Chris. Should they get the ball back here sometime in the last 17 seconds, I think they might play off fourth down, which is what East Lyme should have done.
17 seconds. It's second down, and it's Mundell. And Mundell is stuffed at the 43-yard line. Clock running down to 6 seconds. They're going to try to get another playoff, Howard, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
No gain.
2 seconds. They needed a spot. 1, and they're not going to get it off. And we'll go to the locker room, Hal. I know you're laughing. It's 7-7 between the Tigers and the Vikings, and we'll be back. The opening kickoff for the second half here, and right now they're drawing the raffle numbers, which Hal and I bought another $5 worth or another couple of yards, and we figure by now that we're due about a Cadillac apiece because we've supported it for X amount of years and have yet to win, not even the second prize. $100 for the first prize tonight, $30 for the second. One of these nights, Hal.
One of these nights, Chris, we're going to win. We're going to take it right over to the Woo and spend it there. So.
Well, your thoughts, Hal, on the first half? We got a 7-7 ball game.
I think East Lyme's a little bit lucky to be in a 7-7 ball game. Vikes, again, they're a very physical team, very strong, and yet, interestingly, the way East Lyme scored was to throw a bomb, time play, the pass got Danny Sineski went to try to knock it down. Maybe missed time to jump a little bit. It came down behind him and boom, touchdown. And the first time it had the football marched right down the field very smartly, mixed up the running pace and the passing plays, down to a 4th and about 3 from about the 4-yard line. And Danny Sineski threw a little out pattern to Justin Spain, who caught the first of what we feel is probably going to be many varsity touchdowns for the Tigers, and gave Hand the 7-0 lead early. Hand got a couple of breaks, got a couple of turnovers, and got the ball down in East Lyme territory and couldn't score. By the way, I did check at halftime with the officials, and the ruling was on the punt play that the punter's knee touched down. Snap was low, and his knee touched down. That's why they call the ball dead at the 14-yard line.
Well, that makes sense. McIntyre set the kick, and it turns over, and it'll be fielded at the 10 by Ashley. Ashley over the 15 to the 20, turns the corner, and gets out over the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and a decent run back.
Flip on one of the blocks on the corner, but apparently it wasn't. And when Ashley turned the corner, he's got pretty good foot speed.
So, well, it looks like we're going to have a quick change of footballs here. The referee has called time on the field. Looks like we're all set to go. East Lyme will open up with Yakovo again at quarterback with Clark, Ashley, and Mundell. Those are the only 3 we've seen. And he'll go to Ashley. And Ashley looks to sidestep a tackler and then falls forward for a pickup of about 4 up to the 35.
Ashley tried to cut it back in. He got creamed. The Tiger defense caught up with him pretty quickly on that. They gave him about a 4-yard gain up to the 35-yard line. Thought he might have stopped a little bit short of that, Chris, but nice job in there.
And they come back with a counter to Mundell, and Mundell tries to slice through, close to a faceback. That's no flag. Another pickup of about 3 yards up to the 38.
East Lyme cracking out a little bit at a time here, but a big play coming up for Hand here defensively. The Tigers need to make a play here to stop this.
3rd down 3, opening minute of play here in the second half, 7-7 ball game. Power to the right, they come back to the left on the counter. Ashley spins off a tackler and puts his head down for the first down. Good piece of running there, tougher running than we saw from him in the first half.
Great individual effort, Chris, that's all it was. Probably the best individual effort he's had all night, and that's all it was, too, because his interference was stripped early. He was stopped and stood up. He spun off and kept going, which is what you want your good runner to do.
First down from the 43-yard line. And it goes to the tailback, Ashley, and he's met and taken down. In on the tackle for the Tigers, Udacek, number 32.
That time was the first time that East Lyme's just going to a straight eye without having the power people in there. Going to the eye with the receiver wide was a straight ahead play, and Hand stopped it very, very well. No deception involved there.
Second down 10. Clark is the fullback. Ashley and Mundell are the halfbacks, and they're showing a power to the left, and they'll come to the right with Mundell. Doesn't really wait for his blockers there. Tries to turn the corner, gets a yard, and flags come in from every direction.
Body sweep, and the Tigers stuffed it up very nicely. Brian Short, number 67, among the people in there. We got a heat hold and a flip, both being called against East Lyme here. I think the Tigers are going to send them back on this to see how they work this.
Have a seat at McIntyre, check in.
Fenway, after 3, Yankees 2, Boston 2.
Dave Phillip checks out.
Billy Rick, you're explaining the option to the Tigers here. This is a little bit complicated because of the double penalty.
Once again, that winning number, 6-5, 3-5, 3-4. Don't lose your chance. Bring your winning ticket to the plus side.
They were both live ball fouls, so there's no loss of down involved.
So it's going to be second and about 25.
Because the Tigers accepted the clipping penalty, which is the longer penalty. That's what took all the time to explain.
Single setback, double wing. They go with the reverse. It comes back to Ashley from Mundell, and Ashley gets out over the 35. A lot of movement and a pickup of about 5 yards.
Number 54, Carl Olson. One of the 54 is Dan Pelosi. We have him listed as Carl Olson here, but it's actually Dan Pelosi. Number 54 from East Lyme on the guards, making the play on that.
It'll be 3rd and 18.
Third down, about 19. 8:40 to go, third quarter. They come back on the counter, and that's Mundell, and Mundell is taken down. On the tackle for the Tigers was Jay Hannaberry.
Big play there by Jay Hannaberry, because if he got to be outside, he maybe had a shot to get out the first down. Instead, East Lyme faced with a fourth down, and that penalty certainly stuffed some momentum for the Vikings, which allowed them to move the ball downfield reasonably well until they got the clipping penalty.
Tigers will send Muntz and Zaneski back. They'll be standing back at about their own 35. Ashley to do the kicking, and Hermanad with good pressure, good kick. Not great hang time. Zaneski on the fake reverse, has the wall set up beautifully. Turns the corner. There's flags down. And taken out of bounds at about the East Lyme 41-yard line, but that'll come back.
It's going to come back, and that was set up well. Look, we have a blocking below the waist. It's tough to make a call on who made that block, so you don't want to say anything there, but the Tigers got nailed on something, and it's too bad, too, because they had that set up. Danny Zaneski, nice job with that fake handoff on the reverse. Set up the wall, got to it, and then ran it down for about 20 yards or so.
Well, you can scout that wall that the Tigers use. You can watch it on the films, you can watch it live, you can practice again, but yet it's hard to beat it.
You can't beat it.
You really can't beat it.
I'll tell you what, I think UConn was watching Hans game because the Huskies last week playing against Richmond set one of those things up and got about a 65-yard punt return out of it, running almost exactly the same wall that Han uses.
Pitch to McIntyre, quick pitch, cuts outside, has some running room, and turns the corner out over the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Chris, by the way, I asked a question in the first half, which I'm sure by now people have either forgotten about, given up on, or ready to shoot me.
Or don't care.
But you have to go back.
No, I care. I do.
You have to go back to 1978. And I was talking to East Lyme coaches before the game, and they remembered Kenny Schweitzer, 1978.
Who's here tonight, by the way.
And the last time the hand and East Lyme played, Kenny Schweitzer led the Tigers to a 51-17 victory.
McIntyre out over the 46. That's one of the higher scoring games in the Tiger history.
But if you stop and think back, Han and East Lyme started football right around the same time in the early 1970s. And it was always a great game between the two clubs. Always one or the other would come in with a real good record, and the two teams would always play each other very tough in the early 70s. Nice to see the rivalry come back.
Straight eye on 1st and 10. It's McIntyre. He gets sandwiched a bit inside Viking territory at about the 46, but good piece of running, showed some good speed, and hit that hole pretty quickly.
Yes, he did.
Come up about 2 yards short. It'll be 2nd and 2, halfway through the third quarter. Still a tie game. As the Tigers have moved the ball pretty good throughout the game, East Lyme's moved it a bit, but yet it's only a 7-7 score. Pitch goes to McIntyre. Another big hole. McIntyre, 2 hands over the football and down to about the 37-yard line, and the Tiger first down. It looks like the Tigers are settled in to do a little running here, Al, in the third quarter.
Jay Hannaberry, nice block on that play, but you're exactly right. He is getting off the ball very quickly and just getting a whole bunch of people and bodies out there in the way and getting the job done.
And of course, this running will open something up, maybe deep, a little later on. Once again, straight eye. right. Pitch to McIntyre. Hermanad out in front. McIntyre cuts back, gets down close to the 30, call it the 31, and it'll be another nice pickup, about 6 yards.
Offensive line doing a very, very good job on this drive. Just getting off the ball, getting out, and pushing East Lyme, sitting East Lyme back on its heels, Chris. Again, the Tigers not real big up front, but they are quick.
Second down 4. Go set. And it's McIntyre. McIntyre over the right side, gets down inside the 30 to about the 28, and he will come up about a yard short, it looks like, but it's, again, Hal, they're giving him a pretty good mark. We may have to measure.
This is timeout for measurement.
It looked like he was taken down at about the 28. It's actually closer to the 27 now.
He's also coming up a little bit slow off a couple of those pileups. I don't know if he's got a little bit of a leg problem or what. Tigers a little bit short on that, but they've got a third down set up with maybe a 3rd and 1.
A free play here, depending on what the Tigers want to do. They could decide to throw the ball here and then come back on 4th.
He's got a new fullback in the lineup, by the way, Pete Milliard.
And we also have a new tailback carrying the ball.
That was Milliard. That was Pete Milliard, the fullback.
Okay. But we also had somebody else in there, Clausen, Chris Clausen, 34. So it was a totally new backfield. Clausen and Milliard.
McIntyre was limping just a little bit. He called Milliard by his brother's first name, Dave, when we were talking this way. So that's always a sign that you've been around for a long time. Start calling kids by their brother's name.
Well, I've never known, to be honest with you. I used to always call Dave Millard, but everybody that I've talked to recently has been saying Milliard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's like Di Loretto or Delarado. Same name, a couple different ways of pronouncing it.
McIntyre checking back into the lineup right now. Milliard coming out after making a big run for the first down on that play. I know I'll call him Dave before the year's over.
Second down 8. Split wide to the left is Munt. That's McIntyre. McIntyre keeps those feet moving.
Nice leg drive.
Gets down to the 17.
Nice job on that.
McIntyre looks like he means business here in the 3rd quarter as he's seeing most of the action and running hard.
He is, and he's picking up some chunks of yards. 3rd and 3 or 4, and the Tigers have done this one pretty much entirely on the ground. As a matter of fact, totally entirely on the ground. I don't think the hand's thrown a ball in this drive.
No, they haven't. And they're also taking chunks of time off the clock. We're winding down to 3.5 minutes. And this is reminiscent of the 1st quarter. Pitch to McIntyre right. And saw a block on the end there, and the flag comes in late.
That was not on Hepsi.
Okay.
That was not on Hepsi. He just got a great block. He buried his man.
I saw something around the right end. I didn't see the flag come in, but it came in late. Let's see.
I think the Tigers got the first down. I think it's also going to get called back.
Okay, it was a hold then.
But that was not Hepsi. Oh, they can't be calling that on Hepsi.
I believe they are. There was nothing else out there but that one block.
He just buried his man. There was no hold on that at all.
Holding is the call against 10.
Nonsense call.
Brings the ball back to the 32.
What the heck does a guy 290 pounds have to hold for when he's got his man beat?
Well, again, we can take a look at that on the replay.
I'll tell you what, I want to see that one about 18 times slow motion because it certainly didn't look to me like
the thing that bothered me about it was it didn't come it didn't come in when it happened. I saw what happened. It was questionable. I wasn't sure. The flag came in about 5-10 seconds later. Tedeschi flushed out, and he turns the corner, and he's going to lose some yardage as he takes a big hit. And actually does a pretty good job.
He got back to his line of scrimmage.
Just about, yeah. And maybe even picked up a yard.
But he's faced now with about a 4th and maybe 18 or so. Not a great position to be in.
They may try to angle it out here into the corner.
I think I might go for a corner punt here.
I think I would too. Hit him down deep. East Lyme has hasn't shown a proficiency of getting first downs, forcing the punt. There's a slight wind.
I still don't like that holding call.
Zaneski with a short setup here, 8 or 9 yards. There's a procedure penalty from the right side.
Which is too bad because he just nailed that out at about the 2-inch line. He kicked that ball just inside the pylon there, and it would have been out of bounds inside the 1. Tigers line up in a very short punt formation. You're right. They don't drop the punter back 13, 14 yards. He's probably about 10 to 12 yards back, which can do some good things with fake kicking, but it's very, very tight for trying to punt.
That one he dropped back only about 8 yards. Of course, he was taking a shorter step. He was going to kick it a little bit shorter. And now he's about 10 now. Have to get a teeny bit more leg into it here, because you're going to be letting it go from about the 45. And that looks like a good punt.
Out of bounds inside the 10. I don't know what they're going to mark now. He's coming out to about the 11. That's a bad spot. That was about a 7 or 8 yard line, and he got spotted badly at around the 11.
But nonetheless, not a bad job.
Oh, no, nice job.
Pick up of 20 or so yards, and they're back in. Anytime you're push them inside the 20, you're in good shape.
Yeah, you like to see it inside the 10, but
number 429 526. Once again, 42 95 26. For $100, bring your ticket to the test site.
We're still looking for the winning ticket.
I don't know where they're selling their tickets, but...
and that's Clark. He tries to get outside, and Munt finishes him off.
My numbers are about 30,000 off. They're going for 42s, and my first two numbers are 65.
Let's see. Mine are 65, too. 65, yes.
I think we get some Renegade tickets.
They didn't even get in the basket, huh? Into the box. I'm only 200 tickets off for the third $30 second prize. Clark, the ball carrier, picks up a couple up to about the 15-yard line. It'll bring up third down in about 6. We have an injury timeout right now on the field. The Tigers is down.
There's an injured hand player down.
That's Ashley, the ball carrier, up close to the 20, about the 19. He comes up short of the first down. He'll bring up 4th.
On the quick pitch to the outside, he still did not get it. Dave Udachik was the injured Tiger player. He's lying down on the sideline, but I'm going to guess that he's got a cramp, Chris, because he came out pretty much under his own power, and what he's been mainly doing on the sideline, even though he's lying down, has been stretching type stuff. Trainers are over there, but it doesn't look like anything serious. I'm going to guess that he'll be back in the ballgame for too much longer.
Bit of a crosswind is picked up here as Ashley gets set to kick it, and it hangs up beautifully. Zaneski will call for a fair catch at the 48. You know, we might be seeing right here how two of the better kickers around, because both Zaneski and Ashley have kicked the ball pretty well. He just punted that ball from inside his own 10, and it's into Tiger territory.
So he
and a little bit of a wind in his face.
Yeah, a little bit of a breeze in his face, and he bombed that one. And Dean Zaneski, we know, the All-State punter last year. There's no question that he's one of the better kickers in the
Lions Club, thank you for your participation. Ask you once again, buy your tickets to the next home game.
Well, 37 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Still tied. And the Tigers come out. They send 2 receivers left, 1 right, straight eye. In the slot is Reardon. Zaneski to McIntyre. Big hole inside Viking territory, and flag down.
No, I think we're going to get a procedure penalty here.
Movement before the snap. Number 80, John Reardon. Formation, they're going to call it.
Against the offense.
I don't know, maybe the Tigers didn't have 7 on the line of scrimmage.
A little bit of an opening game kind of thing, I think.
John Burke has some sort of Darth Vader shield on his helmet, number 82, just came over to the sideline. One splits out wide to the left. Spain is out to the right, and he's been quiet since the first quarter. Straight eye. Sineski, little fake. Rolls to the left, he's flushed out, and he'll be taken down. Taken down at about the 38-yard line. And that was Davis and Smith were both over there.
Roe Davis, who I was giving us number 79, actually number 75. Big play on there. Good play. The third quarter. Time to dust off the old 3rd and 20 play here to open the fourth quarter. Tigers having a little bit of a problem moving the football. But, as we saw in the first half, hand can fall. Definitely got conservative in the third quarter, kept the ball on the ground quite a bit. But this might be time to open it up a little bit.
Certainly the Tigers, the more diversified team. Again, it just seemed funny to keep saying the score 7-7. It's hard to believe that the Tigers have only scored once.
He certainly dominated the game in terms of moving the football. There's no payoff for touchdown.
Split back, longer cadence. And out over the 45 to about the 47-yard line. That's Chris Clausen.
And it was my mistake. I thought that was a third down play. Apparently that was a second down play. Third down coming up now with about a third, maybe 11. So Hand got half the yardage back almost on that play. Nice run by Chris Clausen.
Gain of 7 to the 46. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Third down 11. Burke will come wide to the right. Spain will be flanked out to the left. Reardon's tight left. Once again, the straight eye. And square out was almost picked off by Haney.
And that's the pass intended for John Burke. Broken up by
James and Burke, and still it is going to be fairly short on the first down. Jeff Haney got into the passing pattern there, and if he managed to understand what he was supposed to do, which was catch the ball, he probably had a touchdown going the other way.
If this was the NFL and John Madden was speaking, he'd say, third down. Why didn't they throw it far enough to get the first down?
Chris, sounds to me like you're saying the same thing. I sort of agree with it. Making 2 yards on 3rd and 11.
And there's Ruffin there. Zaneski kind of brought that on by hesitating before he kicked. And that was a...
And this one's going to go the penalty against East Lyme. And it was called on number 56, Charlie Orphis. Zaneski definitely bought that one.
He did.
He looked like he was ready to take off and run on that play, Chris. And I think that Charlie Orphis bought the fact that Danny was ready to run. And when Dan didn't do anything more than just kind of juke stuff a little bit, he came in and hit him. And because he didn't move, he didn't become a runner, and therefore he's still a punter.
And Danny knew that he was going to be able to get the punt away, and they were coming in from the non-kicking leg side, that he was still going to be able to get the punt away. And they are now inside the 40-yard line. Yes, it was.
That's a pretty intelligent play for a kid to make.
It is a very intelligent play from the 39. Well, that's because they only had 10 men on the field. The 11th one right now is trotting on. That's number 30, Jamie Benoit.
Coming on behind the assistant coach. That's never a good idea. You've got your defensive coordinator coming into the huddle, and here's the guy kind of sheepishly following that big break here on the roughing the kicker penalty, keeping the drive alive with a chance maybe to take the lead.
And Zaneski sprinting out right, backside pressure, he gets it away. Intended for Munn, and then in and out of the hands of Owen at the 30, which would have been right around the first down marker.
One of the things that he was doing a little bit more of in the first half of the year, he's planting before he threw, Chris. Now he's, you know, the balance just seems just a little bit off, and his ball is sailing a little bit instead of kind of settling into where he wants it to go. And he's making it a little bit more difficult to catch. He's just got to take that just a little bit extra off the back leg and plant before he throws.
I would like to see him drop back, straight drop back a little bit. I think the Tigers can block well enough here. Keep the linebackers honest with the run, with the mix of the run and the pass anyway. I'd like to see a 5 or 7 step drop. Look for a button hook or something over the middle. It was open earlier in the first quarter. They did that a little bit more. They seem to want to throw off the sprint out all the time. Sometimes it's hard to be accurate.
Yeah, it is.
It's also sometimes a little harder to handle for the receiver.
It's also a little, at times, it's a little bit tough to see. You know, Dan at 5'11", 6 foot, is not the tallest guy in the world. Sometimes it can be a little tough to see guys over the middle who are open. And he's had some.
Clausen and McIntyre. McIntyre gets a pitch, big hole, and closes up pretty quickly. Good job by East Lyme, up close to the first down.
He looked like he had enough.
He's going to be short this time. Oh, I don't know. It's going to have to be a measurement. No, I don't know, Hal. He might have got it. You never know if the chains are on the sidelines are exactly positioned where the first down's going to be. They're not always stretched out perfectly.
I think he's off by half a
Very close. Couple inches.
It wasn't about half a lift and a strike, but he's still just missed. Gotta go.
Well, yeah, they'll go for it. In a similar situation earlier, they've gone for it, and here they only need a couple inches.
They've run the fullback inside. It'll be interesting to see what happens now. Here they're running footback, which is a little bit different formation than they run before.
Zaneski may sneak it. And he does. For the first down with 9:59 to go.
There are those who will tell you that that's the dumbest play in football. I am not one of them. I like that play.
I like that play myself.
You get any kind of help out of your line, you get any kind of line search at all, you've got to make the 6 inches that you need.
Right. And you're not risking the handoff to the running back, giving the defensive line a chance to break through the line of scrimmage and get in the backfield.
Good call by the coaching staff, well executed.
Burke split wide to the left, no tight end right. They have all the receivers on the left, 4 receivers to the left, out of the eye. They'll pitch that way, overloaded. There should be some room to run, but one of the Devaney's comes up and kind of slows McIntyre down.
From the secondary, he came flying in from the secondary. He read the run very quickly, even though Hand had a bunch of wide outside people. He read the run quickly enough to come up and fly through there and make the stop.
Pick up of 2. Will be 2nd and 8.
You know, this is where play action pass can get a guy like that who's maybe thinking run a little bit to react.
And they set up with a passing formation out of the pro set. Zaneski will pitch out of it, and McIntyre's going to throw it. Munn's open. Can he get it there? He falls down, and in comes Spain. It wasn't intended for Spain.
Spain came across. Well, what happened was Mike Munn fell down. He came across number 87, fell down on the play, and Spain just came across, saw the ball up there, and made a marvelous play to come across and make the catch.
And Ken Haney, 43, thought he was, I think it was 42. Kelly Owen thought he was sitting on an interception. When he saw Munn fall down, he was just sitting there waiting to catch it.
Waiting to fair catch.
Spain puts right in front of him.
Spain made the play.
Oh, from across the field. Wonderful play. 8:53 to go in the ball game. The Tigers, a little deja vu after the pass to the East Lyme player earlier for the long pass. That one probably shouldn't have happened either. And both teams have now gotten 6 from it tonight. it about 40 yards through the uprights. With 8:53 left in the ball game, the Tigers in front on their home field, 14-7.
Came over the sideline, took his helmet off to get some congratulations, and shaved into the back of his head is a Tiger paw.
I like it. I'll take that over the Mohegan.
Oh, definitely. I think we might see this young man a little bit more.
And he's very vocal, very into it.
I'm going to be impressed. He's got the size that,
Only
that says, he's got the size that says he might be a real good football player.
McIntyre set to kick. Ashley and Wendell are deep. McIntyre's kick will come down to Ashley at about the 10, 11-yard line. Out over the 15, looking for a little running room. Turns the corner nicely and sidesteps up over the 25.
What, for a kid as big as he is, and Ashley, we don't have sizes here, but I'm going to guess that Bruce Ashley's got to be a 200-pounder. Moves very, very well.
He has quick feet, and he can turn it up. He can go around the corner and turn it up.
Yep.
So they're out over the 20 to about the 22.
Like he's starting to get into a little bit of crunch time here. 8.5 minutes to go, and East Lyme basically have grinded out that ball, but has to get something going here fairly quickly.
And bad handoff, and it'll be recovered by the Tigers.
Kyle Succo came up. There's a flag on the far side. Kyle Succo came up with the punter recovery. But there's also a flag that gets thrown in there. I think we're going to see a procedure penalty on East Lyme, and I think it's going to get declined.
And the recovery made right at about the line of scrimmage was the 22. And the pitch couldn't be handled.
That was a beanbag. Chris, I'm seeing something flying out of there that looks like a penalty flag. They're throwing a beanbag out to mark pumps. I suppose it's innovative, but I don't really like it because it certainly looks like a flag.
Udacek back in the game. And the quick dive is stuffed up very quickly. Chris Smith, number 79, a sophomore from East Lyme, on the tackle.
Udacek got nothing out of that particular flag. I think Tigers look like they almost need to go wide tonight. Either throw the ball or to go wide.
And a score on this possession, I think, Hal, could pretty much cement it for the Tigers. The chances of East Lyme scoring twice with 5 or 6 minutes left in the game is almost nil.
What's happened so far, I agree with you. Hand has played very, very well defensively overall.
McIntyre picks his way through the right side and gets inside the 20 down to about the 17.
It looked like he was trying to step through a pasture that a couple of cows have been in for a while. Tippy-toeing his way through.
That brings up a third down situation. 3rd and long, 6. As Udacek and Munn check in, Chris Clausen and Burke check out. And big play coming up here for the Viking defense.
Keep in the middle. It's almost within McIntyre's field goal range.
Straight eye. And out to Spain. Makes a nice catch. Great hands inside the 10. First down. Little play action from Zaneski to Spain.
We may have another Scotty Schweitzer on our hands here in terms of catching the football.
And what a target to have to throw to.
He is definitely impressive. He's done a great job so far. That was a heck of a catch because he had to turn away and he caught that ball totally with his hands. That was just like grab the ball with his hands.
10 hands just outside the 10-yard line.
1st and 10, just outside the 10. East Lyme timeout.
Timeout, East Lyme.
Well, this time they had 11 on the field, so.
East Lyme's third timeout this half, Chris. If it is, that's it. It's at least the second for the Vikes, and it might be the third. I believe it is the third.
I believe it is the second. I only remember 2. One other one and this one. I think they probably have one left. I think if the Tigers can get any sort of score here, though, they won't need the timeouts.
Update from Fenway with Still batting in the fifth. Red Sox 3, Yankees 2.
Oh well, for those Red Sox fans who are
Well, it'll be over by the time you hear this, but the Red Sox are up 3-2 in the fifth. You know, Paul Nichols downstairs is very interested in the game when he brings his own little portable TV with him and announces the score every inning. Keep the crowd happy. Red Sox, Yankees.
now Paul is a Met fan who occasionally will admit that he's a classic Yankee fan too.
Well, I'm a Yankee fan, but I think the Red Sox are going to make it. I don't think the Yanks can catch them.
I'm a Yankee fan, and right now I have 3 locks for pennants, and the Yankees are my American League East picks. So if they win, I go 4 for 4.
Beautiful. In motion. That's the first time we've seen that. A nice block on the end. Tedeschi tries to carry it in and gets very close. He's down at about the 1-inch yard line.
He may have a first out.
And that was a block from Munt on either the outside linebacker.
Almost a crackback. Because of the way he came in there, that's very close to being a block that's outlawed in high school football. But I think the way he made the block, he was just fine because he didn't come in low. He came in up, and it was all right. But,
that helps set it up and turn the corner. And they were just outside the 10, so there's a chance for a first down. And this is probably going to be it because they only needed...
Yes, he does. They're first and goal well inside the 1.
Inside the 1.
With 6:29.
I'd get a touchdown right here.
Yeah, I'd say he'll carry it until he's in.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
We may sneak it 4 times if we need to, but I don't think we'll need to. Could be once, probably once, maybe twice at the most. It's only a couple inches. The nose of the ball is just off the line.
That or I should throw to Spain. He catches everything else. Why not?
Well, he's in the ball game along with Burke, and they split Beard wide to the right. Rosette, sneak. Tedeschi, I believe he's in. No signal yet. I don't know how he couldn't be in, but they're going to say it's second down. I find it hard to believe he got up in the end zone. He got up
About on the goal line.
Even Tedeschi is shaking his head a bit. They're going to sneak it again.
I think I might run it. This time I think I might ask John Hevesy to drive forward, and I did go right off his back.
Well, all you need to do here is just change your cadence a little bit, and you're in right there.
There he goes. Permanent and Hevesy spun it out a little bit to his right side, and that's where the hole's going to be.
And that may just about cement things. 5:49. The Tigers looking to now make it 21 as McIntyre is out there, getting set for the extra point. I saw the Steve Wilson predictions in the paper today. I saw 2014, the Tigers, so he may be pretty close with this one.
Steve, I'll tell you what, he doesn't do a bad job with some of those picks.
Oh, I read his article. He was somewhere around 130 and 50 last year.
100, something like 164 and 58.
Yeah, which really isn't bad for a particular game.
700. Not a bad one.
As McIntyre's kick is right through the uprights, and it's 21-7 Tigers with 5:49 to go in the ball game. Time to go. McIntyre is set to kick, and we're going to have to see East Lyme throw the ball a bit. They need 2 scores, and McIntyre's kick squibs down. It's picked up at the 25-30, 34-yard line. Initial hit on the Tigers made by Dave Phillip. It was Jamie Chambers, senior, who did the running on that kickoff.
Dave Phillip has been playing the very inglorious spot in that middle of that defensive line, playing the nose guard, where you take on a whole bunch of people and don't often get your name in the lights because you're not making a lot of tackles, but you're making things happen.
Single setback, middle screen to Clark. Clark cuts it outside, back in, there's a flag, and he's still on his feet. And he's hard to bring down. He's got to be 225 inside Tiger territory to the 45.
You know, about 4 missed tackles on that play. Tigers had a shot at reading it because Hand did have on screen protection Brian Short, number 67. But I think you're going to see this come back on a hole.
And it's going to come back and more because it was a nice pickup down to the 45.
Yes, it was. That's a very costly penalty on that particular play. Vikes have run the screen very well. They've run the middle screen now twice, and they've run an outside screen once as well. And they execute that play very, very well.
That had been close to a 20-yard pickup. Once again, single setback. They don't need the play action. Tigers know they have to throw the ball. And Yakovo goes down. Hermanat originally.
Hermanat, once again, he has played one heck of a game as a defensive lineman. Playing both ways, too. Playing a lot on the offensive line as well. Came in there and records the first sack of the year for the Tigers.
Looks like to be the player of the game, certainly on defense. And, of course, we know who we would probably give the player of the game for on offense. So,
to give it to a sophomore, but why not?
So why not? And draw. And Clark slips a couple of tackles. He's hard to bring down. And getting off the bottom of the pile for the Tigers. I believe Ubicek was over there.
Dave Phillip had a pretty good shot at him early. He's the one that slipped off. He had him half wrapped up, and Clark is just so big and strong that he wound up breaking loose from that. He kind of disturbed the timing on the play pretty well, Dave Phillip. But he's mad at himself because he wanted to tackle the back.
Third down at about 29. Ashley split out to the left. And Yakovo over the middle to Ashley, has him. He'll try to get outside, and he's tripped up nicely by Suko.
Well, Suko had an ankle tackle on that. That's a situation. Vikes are almost in a situation with 3:40 to go down 2 scores, and they've got to go for it, even though it's a 4th and 16 play. It sort of becomes academic if you punt it.
And they're going to line up for the punt.
Don't think that I'd even be bothering to do this.
Oh, it almost was blocked by Monahan. And another good kick, but it doesn't take a great bounce for Ashley. Down at about the 48. There's 3:11 to go. Tigers have the ball. They can just about run things out here because East Lyme's used up, we believe, 2 at least of their timeouts.
No, at least 2 timeouts. And I think
so one first down should do it just about, because the clock is counting down. Before this play gets off, we'll be at about 2:50.
Assume that the Tigers will keep the ball on the ground.
And the Tigers will get number 1 with a big one coming up.
Chris, next week is the game of the year. That simply is the game Ian must have if it's going to do anything at all this year in terms of polls, playoffs, or the Coastal Conference, because that one's Stratford at Stratford. And Stratford, quite simply, is loaded. This is a team, as a matter of fact, in the Register's preseason poll, I voted second in the state. I voted Middletown first, obviously, because I think Middletown far and away is the best team in Connecticut. But Stratford has a lot of Middletown-type qualities in terms of the quickness and the speed, and, guys like Heller and so on and so on. The names we've been hearing for 3 years now. They're still around, and this is Stratford's year. Last year was Morgan's year. This year is Stratford's year.
You see it as an advantage for the Tigers to meet them early in the season, before maybe they get the wheels turning?
In a way, yes. In a way, no, because you'd like to see Hean get its wheels turning too. You'd like to see the Tigers be totally ready to play a game like that, have some confidence. And Hean coming off the losing career and everything. You'd like to see that game come about 3 or 4 more games down the road. At least I would. You hate to see that many games come bang, 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 bang early in the season. But you got to play them at some point, so it doesn't really make that much difference. You got to play them. You play them. And you've got Bunnell right after that. And, you're looking at Xavier as well. And Xavier is loaded this year too. Dave DeRita's been around forever at quarterback, and Rocket kid, and of course the young Repic kid, Rich Repic, up there now, another Madisonite. That's a very, very good football team.
The Coastal Conference, though, Hal, you put Stratford at the top, and then you're bunching Morgan and Han and a few of those in the middle there?
A couple of people in the middle. Morgan Han, Notre Dame certainly has a couple of very, very good football players, a tight end who can play for anybody, and a couple of other people along that line. Foreign not going to be a slouch. Law tough as usual. So the whole league is going to be good. I mean, and you never discount even a North Branford, Guilford certainly with the new coaching staff there and the new outlook on things will be a good ball club. The whole league, game in, game out is going to be tough. Little short time out here. Vikes with an injured player down. 68 getting up. So let's take a look at what else we have here and see what we come up with. 68 is Steve Cravino, C-R-A-V-I-N-H-O, who's a linebacker who is not listed on the original roster. Again, everybody has early season jitters, including the people who make up the rosters, Chris. Yeah, these kinds of things are going to happen.
And speaking of rosters, the programs look pretty nice this year.
This is a Joe Hevesy production, and he went all
my compliments to Joe Hevesy. I'm used to getting a small little
yellow book,
and now I've got almost the equal to a college program.
Yep. With
a beautiful picture on the front in color. Looks like maybe Dave Guzzio, 64 from last year.
That sounds right.
Great little piece of work.
Tigers are going back 5 for just your basic delay of game penalty. They have run the clock down to 103 right now, and they're going to be just inside the East Lyme half of the football field, around the 47 or 48-yard line, and Dan Zaneski will go back in punt formation. He has certainly the ability to hit the ball into the end zone, or if not, to get it fairly close to that area.
103 left. Zaneski to punt, and it's coming down right side, and it'll fall dead somewhere around the 21-yard line.
Very, very short kick, and he got that kind of off the side of the foot, Chris.
51 seconds left, and the Tigers are going to get out of here with a win, and they'll have their work cut out for them next week, playing on a Saturday, though.
Playing
so an extra day to prepare.
Same time as UConn Yale, as a matter of fact, which is why neither you nor I are going to be in Stratford next week. But Larry Ciotti will be, so he doesn't get to see Michael play against UConn.
And a screen, left screen this time, and Clark again, and he's got room. And Clark, maybe they should have gone to him a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if he sees a little more action, both running the ball and catching the ball next week. Because he is tough to bring down, and he might not have the speed that Ashley or Mundell have, but he's
a big, strong kid.
He is, and they have big enough people to get out in front of him and block.
Would be a nice missing link to transfer down to Madison.
Yeah, 225-pound fullback, block for McIntyre and the rest. And throwing downfield deep, this one almost picked off by McIntyre. I'll tell you what the Tigers have to do a little bit defensively. They got to worry a little bit about letting guys get in behind them.
Yeah,
okay, 2 or 3 long.
They're trying to rely on athletic ability there, and you can't do that. You've just got to make sure that doesn't.
You still got to make it safe here. You don't need to pick off. You don't have 2 people in front of the receiver there. You get a tip ball off your hands, a guy takes it and runs it in. All of a sudden you got an onside kick, and I mean, just those type of things can happen. I'm sure that after seeing the films, the coaching staff is going to tell them, hey, that safety man's got to make sure he doesn't get beat deep. Nobody can get behind you. And once again, that middle screen, but they tried that, went to the well once too often with that.
Short's been on screen duty all night long. That time, he penetrated the blockers, and he was in behind 2 of the blockers instead of having 4 guys trying to knock him down. He was behind 2 of them, and he put the other 2 off and made the block. He's been doing a nice job, and he's had to do a tough job.
He has. And East Lyme did finally call their last time out with 15 seconds left.
This time, finally, head coach George Williams going out to sit in the huddle there. I'm not sure if he's going to devise a 14 13-point play here or what, but
Like most ball games, it's taking a half an hour to play the last 3 minutes.
which is about as long as the Red Sox have been up in the 5th inning here, Chris. We're getting our tails blown up at the moment. We Yankee fans.
Yes, we are. But Wes Gardner's on the mound, so there's always a shot for the Yanks.
There's always a chance that the torch could get lit. That's true.
Stick to football, gentlemen.
Yakovo airs it out for Ashley, who's, once again, there it is, Hal. Just what I'm talking about. Of course,
That's what you're talking about with the tip for.
and if he stays on his feet, you know,
Maybe there's a chance.
maybe in this game it's not going to hurt him so bad, but in future games, got to be careful about that. They're trying to time it for the pickoff all the time and letting people sneak in behind. 7 seconds left. Over the middle. New receiver in the ball game tries to struggle in. There's no time left on the clock. And that was Kevin Devaney. Now there are 3 Devaney